Okay, everybody, I'm really happy to see you all. Finally, I got here. Yes, and it's like it was a little bit tough today, but we are going to basically focus on the things quite not fast, but I hope it will be efficient for you. Yes. Let me just click on the chat because just one moment. Something I would like you to react to, please. Okay, so right here, right now, we are trying to get through the writer's block. And I'm really happy that you are here with me because it's not like I'm lecturing you and you're listening to me and so on. We all share a lot of amazing experiences, which we can basically probably which we can talk about. Okay, so what I would like you to do, how I would like to do it. First of all, we are dealing with some kind of things, yes, which are quite interactive, and you try doing them together with me. And should you have any questions, or if you would like to share something, you can unmute yourself and speak. But first of all, please put this question into the box, okay? So if you're ready to start, please put a plus in the chat and we are going to start. Waiting for your reactions. Okay, thanks a lot. All right, so once again, I'm really sorry for being late today. I was getting through the writer's block in the morning, so we will see how effective my tips are today. So we are going to have a look at that. So the first thing that we are looking at are going to be some kind of questions. Yes, and one moment, I'm just trying to struggle with the chat, you know. So it's a problem for me today to be dealing with this amazing chat. Yeah, it's here. So the first thing that we are going to look at is starting from the questions. Yeah, like what we are going to do and how we are going to break through our writer's block. First of all, could you please write to me in the chat, what is writer's block to you? Like writer's block is, and put there 4 to 5 words. Okay, please put your ideas down in the chat. What is a writer's block for you? Yeah, thank you, Yulia. Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Katerina. Okay, yeah, a blank piece of paper. That's it. Lack of ideas. Thanks a lot. When you have the time limit, yes, and you don't know what to do. Oh yeah, okay, we will talk about it. Lack of ideas. Sharing knowledge, thoughts. Okay. Guidelines. All right. So basically, when we are talking about to be in touch with fans. Okay, yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay. Unable to produce something. That's right. So basically, when we are having a kind of the writer's block, it is when we think or we feel like we are lacking ideas, or we are feeling like being overwhelmed with ideas, but on the other hand, we have nothing to say, right? Sometimes it happens like this. The third thing could be we have ideas, but we don't know how to put these ideas into words. And the final thing, I really like this idea by Anastasia, lack of experience. Exactly. Some content points may not be covered. And you remember that, for example, if we talk about Cambridge exams, or let's say IELTS or TOEFL or any other exams, whatever, there is the content point there, right? And basically, and also there is communicative achievement. And if we don't know what to write there, content point and communicative achievement are going to be more or less failed. Lack of emotions, exactly. We will talk about emotions and we will talk about things and how we react to our experience and how we put this experience into the words. Okay, so Vera is raising her hand, but maybe Vera, you can actually put the question down here and then we are going to discuss it. Okay, right. The thing which we are going to start from is basically when we are starting to write, we usually have brainstorming, but I decided that today we are not going to do this, and we will basically move to another part of it, which is give yourself permission to write fast and badly. Brainstorming is quite clear. We will come back to it a little bit later. Brainstorming is when we feel we have ideas, but probably we have too many. Here we will just see what happens when we don't have any ideas at all. So please prepare a blank piece of paper, or if you feel like typing, please type. You will have 3 minutes to write on the following topic. Actually, there is no topic, there is a picture. So your task is to react to this picture. Remember, there is no specific genre. There are no specific requirements. You are not at the test. You look at the picture and you write down or type down whatever comes to your mind first. You have 3 minutes to do it. When the time is up, I will tell you. So blank piece of paper, pen, or type in on the screen. Look at the picture, please. And 3 minutes for you to write anything. I will tell you when the time is up. Mm-hmm. You don't need to put it into the chat. You can put it somewhere, yeah? And you have half time left, about 70 seconds left. About 30 seconds left, please. All right, please put down your pieces of paper and think about your writing. Don't look at your writing, don't criticize. This is the main point, don't criticize. Turn off your inner critic about that. Look at your writing. Think about how you felt when you were writing. Did you have a lot of ideas? Did you have no ideas? And please share your experiences in the chat. How did you feel about this fast writing? Please write in the chat. How do you feel about that? Okay, so you had ideas. Okay, perfect. Too fast. All right. Okay. It's to me. Yeah, you're speaking too fast. Okay. Or 3 minutes is not enough. Okay. No clear structure. Come on. We are not talking about structure. Again, I said, switch off your inner critic, please. Don't think about structure. Don't think about mistakes. Not for that. Some ideas. Okay. So the most important thing when you are writing yourself and when you are teaching writing to other people, get people to write in general. As you can see, especially with teenagers, they are not really into writing because this is not what they normally do in their everyday life. They don't write, only for school. That's it. Outside, nothing. So the most important thing is that you get people to start writing or typing. Again, when we communicate, we don't communicate in sentences. We communicate in phrases, yes, more or less. Yes, these are sentences. So when we have to write, we have to organize our speaking or our inner feelings and thoughts into our inner language, yes, into longer stretches of writing to develop it is complicated for us, not to mention our student, right? Okay, so it was tough. I do agree with you, because basically it is tough because you have the time limit, and within 3 minutes, you have to start writing about something. Of course, inside your brain, you have a lot of ideas. Oh my God, what is the structure? Why didn't she tell me how I should start? Why didn't she tell me how many words I should write? I shouldn't tell you anything about that. This is called free writing. You are free to write whatever you want. And every time you are looking at your blank piece of paper, first you will say, I'm free to write whatever I want. Write something for 3 minutes, then look at this blank piece. You can throw it away. You can do whatever you want. This will help you to start writing something bigger, something more important. Another thing is, when we start writing, we usually, why do we start from writing? I mean, we don't usually start from writing. We start from brainstorming or planning, but we don't start writing immediately. Nobody does that. I mean, effective writers, right? And if you feel that I'm an effective writer and I can start writing from introduction, no, I cannot. My kind of work or assignment is not going to be well written if I start writing from the introduction and end with the conclusion. I usually start from planning. And here we are going to look at brainstorming ideas. And I would like to ask you, how do you brainstorm ideas for your writing? Please put your ideas in the chat. How do you brainstorm on everyday basis? What techniques, what strategies? Get ideas on the board. A kind of mind mapping. Yeah, could be mind map. Yeah, I can see that. Thank you, Katerina. Okay, make a list. Mind maps, lists. Yeah, that's right, lists. So basically, we tend to think student work in a group. Yeah, this is also amazing brainstorming. Yeah. Yeah. I personally prefer spidergram. This is perfect. So spidergram is one of the mind mapping techniques, right? Divide students into teams. Yeah, that's how they brainstorm. Exactly. So the most important thing about this is that we start from brainstorming ideas. We sometimes brainstorm alone, we sometimes brainstorm in a pair or in a big group. All of them have amazing advantages, but for me personally, I prefer less linear structures, so I prefer mind mapping. Why mind mapping? Because all spidergrams. When you have mind maps, you can see the unusual connections between ideas. When you have a linear structure like 1, 2, 3, you usually cannot see these connections. Another thing, in the spidergram, you can also add supporting statements. You can also add some bubbles with examples and so on. Unfortunately, linear structure doesn't allow us to do that effectively. And the more 3D the structure or pattern is, the better it is for our perception and understanding. So basically, lists are okay, but they are not effective for everyone. But we're here today not to talk about lists or mind maps. We are going to talk about brainstorming, which is a little bit different. And today we will look at several techniques which are taken from business into ELT. And this is reverse brainstorming, starbursting, and 5 whys. Please put a plus in the chat if you ever have heard about at least one of them. Perfect. Yeah, that's right. Okay, so I'm really happy just for you. If you haven't, you will basically try them out, but I would also like to hear some suggestions from the people who have heard about them and who have tried them. Good. Let's start from the reverse brainstorming. The main idea of the reverse brainstorming is, and it is sometimes good for problem solution or problem solving essays. We have a problem and we need to solve it. But sometimes we are stuck with some problems like environment. Why don't we cause this problem? So basically, let's make this problem worse. So let's have a look at what we have. We identify the problem, then we reverse the problem, which means that we make it even worse. We think about the actions which will make it worse. We collect these ideas, then we think what we can do about each idea, and then we evaluate, select, and identify. But this sounds complicated. Let's try to do something different. Is competition really good? Could you please imagine that there is no competition in the world, like at all, not in any sphere? What happens? So no competition in sports, no competition in business, no competition in studies, nothing. Okay, I already see some ideas. It's dull. Could you please put down in the chat some ideas of yours? Think about good points of no competitions and bad points of no competition. Like not at all, no angry people, no progress. Okay, no development. Yeah, that's true. Think about good things like no angry people, no stress. Yeah, that's true. Boring. Okay. All people are equal. A good point. No sibling rivalry. Okay. No motivation for some students. Okay. No problem. Okay. Low motivation. No one is overlooked. So basically here, if we stop at this point, we will see that we have brainstormed both good and bad things about no competition. And then can you answer the question, is the competition really good? Looking at your ideas, is the competition good or not? Again, remember that when we are writing an essay, we have three options. One is to support the opinion, second is to disprove the opinion, and the third one is to write the balanced essay in which in one paragraph we state advantages of competition, and in the next one we state the disadvantages of the competition. And usually for such dilemma questions, it's really hard to say if it is good or bad, because if you start digging into this writing deep enough, you will see that unfortunately it's neither good or bad, but good all in all. Yeah, that's true. Okay, so amazing. What do you think about this technique? Could you try using this technique in the classroom about reverse brainstorming? Please put a plus in the chat if yes. So please try, and I will be really interested in how it worked. Yeah, that's right. Okay, thanks. Let's move on to another one. And another one is the 5 whys. This technique came to us from NLP. And some people don't like in NLP, but it doesn't matter. The most important thing is that we will try using the 5 whys approach. The idea is like this. Is social media damaging to personal relationship? You can come up with any question with any answer you want. For example, yes, I think that social media ruins personal relationship. Ask the first why question. Why does it ruin? It ruins them because people stop communicating face-to-face. Why do people stop communicating face-to-face? Because they want to have some rest from work, and then they don't want to communicate with us. Why don't they want to come? Because they think that people are nasty and so on. So you keep asking why to all these questions, but please stop when it is still logical, okay? Because at some point it could be a little bit, yeah, you can come to the really interesting conclusions. But there are some things that you could basically dig deeper into using this 5 whys approach. One more approach, which is close to that, is Starbursting. Instead of asking why, you ask the question who, what, when, where, and so on. And here again, if you ask the question, is competition really good? You can ask question like, who is it good for? It will make you think not only about school, not only about business, but also about probably sports, also about competition in terms of social relationship, like social caste and so on. Competition between men and women also, or between those people, I mean, men and women in terms of gender. So whatever, why, when, what, and so on. You can combine why, 5 whys, and Starbursting together, and you can get to very interesting results. Also, some of you suggested using a group brainstorming with other people. So I think that this kind of like Starbursting and 5 whys could be used in a group for better impact in terms of the question. So I sometimes use it with my teenagers and they really like it. So especially they enjoy the process more than me. So that is the thing. Okay, I hope it was useful and we can continue with the next one. And the second thing, after all these beautiful questions, yes, like after all these beautiful ideas and brainstorming, we have some ideas already. What to do with them? We always forget that the second step is not planning. The second step is selection of ideas. And here what helps me is actually this mind mapping, which you have already mentioned. In this process of selecting ideas, I'm not only selecting the ideas which are closer to me and to my viewpoint. I usually select the more practical ideas. Practical ideas are the ones which I can develop, which I can add some justification to, which I can prove, which I can illustrate or give examples for. If I see that I like the idea, but I have no examples for this idea, I will have to dismiss it. So don't forget about the selection process, and also please don't hesitate to draw your students' attention to the selection process. Do the selection of ideas together with them in the first place, and then get them to do it like individually on their own. The problem is that usually they may brainstorm 10 wonderful ideas, but usually they take the first 3 because they're just lazy to think about the rest of them. Work together on these ideas, show them how ideas are developed, and if some ideas are leading you to the dead end, let it go. So this is the thing. After this selection process, we are going to clarity. Usually we think that clarity is about what language we use, that clarity is about clear language. But everything starts not from the language. Everything starts from the clarity of concepts. How well we can argument something. Today we will look at the power of argumentation, and we will start from a very easy task. The easy task is called odd one out. You will have an idea, you will have 3 pictures, and your task is to choose one picture which you think is odd and explain your choice. So I think picture A is odd, or picture 1 is odd, because blah, blah, blah. Please put your justification and your choice down in the chat and have a look at the pictures, please. And write your ideas in the chat, please. Which picture is odd and why? But Katerina, if I may ask you, please write the justification. Why? Okay, I see Olga wrote, yeah, because it's real. It looks real, at least. Looks more realistic. Drawing. Okay. It's a photo. Okay, thank you, Katerina. Yeah, I see that. Okay. No people. More real. The style is different. Okay. All right. And also the second picture is 3D generated, actually. Kind of computer graphics. Okay. Drawing. Okay. There is a girl. Okay. I like it. I like your way of thinking, actually, everybody. Because the most important thing, building isn't on the ground. Wonderful. I like it. So you see, you have all given amazing creative ideas, and I have no right to say, this viewpoint is wrong or this viewpoint is right, because all of you are great. Yes. But the most important thing about your opinion is not what kind of opinion you have, but how well you can ground this opinion, how well you can prove it. So basically here we are looking at the basics of argumentation. And when we're writing an essay, it's really important to be focusing on arguments and on teaching your students our argumentation. What is it about? We usually make a claim. I think that picture 1 is the best. If I don't continue, it's not going to be reliable. So after that, I need to explain why I believe that picture 1 is the best. I believe that picture 1 is the best, or the odd one, because Actually, I think to me, it doesn't look like a picture. It looks like a collage. I don't know why. Okay, so, but in a good argument, you always add a why, you always add a because. And this is the way to teach our students argumentation, especially teens and even pre-teens, because when they pick one picture, which is odd, and they justify their choice, they are learning the basics of argumentation. This is a transferable skill that you can later move to your writing as well. And by the way, speaking, because we sometimes start our classes from debates like this, and there are a lot of ideas that you are generating. By the way, if you look at the chat, you will see that I have been asking already several questions, right? I mean, from the beginning of this workshop, but this is the only question which has got so many answers. What does that mean? It means that you are interested. The same will happen to your students. Your students will be involved because teenagers or kids or adults, they want to express their opinions, they want to be original, they want to be understood, they want to be heard. And this is the way to do this. After that, you as clever teachers just transfer this skill to writing. Every time you are writing about something, in each paragraph, they add some arguments, but get them to test these arguments. Do these arguments really explain why they think so? Or they just say that I think so, that's it, which doesn't work as an argument at all. Okay, what do you think about this activity? Would you like to use it in the classroom for a debate or for writing, like pre-writing stage? What do you think? Great, yeah, that's right. By the way, you can start why I like working with visuals in my writing, because visuals provoke a lot of emotions and emotions provoke writing. So this is really cool. Yes, like something which, as you see, I'm not sharing anything innovative with you. This is not something I came up with. Yes, I took all this information somewhere, but this is some kind of stuff which really works with me. And I do hope that it's going to be working with you and in your classrooms. Okay, another thing, this is my favorite thing. Okay, thank you, Anna, also. Right, my favorite thing here would be, unfortunately, I cannot open QA now, but I will try to, okay? So just at the end of our session, we are going to discuss all the QAs, okay? So use your senses and emotions. This is another thing that I am using. The problem is that I'm now a PhD student at Charles University in Prague, and I am studying multimodality, actually the combination between multimodality, teaching and learning, rather learning than teaching, actually, because, you know, learning is more important than teaching. This is the problem. Okay, so what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to see how much using different kinds of modalities or different kinds of channels of perception like taste, sight, touch, smell, hearing, whatever, can influence the way we learn. And another way to boost people's creativity or to get them working could be using their senses in very unusual way. So I would ask you to, again, prepare a piece of paper and a pen, and you will have to write for about 2 or 3 minutes. It's up to you. I will stop you. So first of all, but don't do it yet, but the first stage will be to close your eyes. Okay, close your eyes now. Think about. Then imagine that you are leaving your flat or house, a place where you live, and you are going to your favorite coffee shop or your favorite shop or your favorite park. So the place where you are feeling really comfortable in. Think about this way. Think about how you are leaving the house. You open the door, you close it, you lock it. And then close your eyes. Don't look around. Think about what sounds do you hear. Could you please, I will give you some time to think about this way from your house, from your home to the place which you like a coffee shop. But please write down only the sounds that you hear. After that, try to do the same, but write down the smells that you can feel. Okay, so please take your time, 2 minutes, to write down the sounds and smells that you can hear and sense and perceive. Okay, 2 minutes for you to work on that. Don't need to write in the chat right now. I will stop you like in about 70 seconds. Okay, 20 seconds left. Okay, could you please share some ideas? First of all, how do you feel about this activity? Do you like it or not? Why? Second thing, maybe you can share some smells and sounds that you are facing and you have to deal with on a regular basis when you're going to your favorite coffee shop. So please share your feelings and share some sounds and I don't know, smells with that. Yeah, it was easier. For me, this kind of activity was harder when I was doing it for the first time. It depends. Okay. Good for imagination. Exactly. Petrol and coffee smell. Oh yeah. Door jingles. Yeah. Difficult to describe smells. Yeah. At the time of COVID, yeah, it's quite hard for some people. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Thank you, Olga. Okay. Yeah, that's right. So this is a kind of an activity which is a little bit calming. Yeah, thank you, Anastasia. Yeah, you are absolutely right. If you see that your students are a little bit under the weather, you can actually get them to do something like that, because this is a really nice calming activity. But on the other hand, it develops their imagination and it develops their senses. What do we do? What do we usually do afterwards? Afterwards, we write the story of senses. So they basically write stories based on what they hear, what they smell, what they taste, and so on. Yeah, this activity is more difficult than writing, but it depends what kind of writing you do, and it depends on the habit of writing. Yes, because we can be in the habit of writing essays perfectly, but we can be having problems with short stories. So as you can see, there is some kind of habit which you may develop or may not. Yes, so this is the thing. Okay, exactly. So, but anyway, if you feel that this activity was challenging for you, you don't need to implement it. But if you feel that there is something you would like to develop in, or you would like your students to develop in, why not? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, okay, about atmosphere, music. Yeah, so you can turn on the music. Also, there is an alternative way probably to watch a video without a video. You basically listen to the sounds and you write the story of what is happening there. This is another idea. So students cannot see what is in the video, but they can hear the sounds and they write down the story, basically. So this is another way to do this. All right, so moving on. And another thing is, again, it is based on emotions, a lot of emotions today. Describe an emotion. Try to name an emotion without naming the emotion. So describe an emotion without naming it. Could you think about any emotion which may be in this picture and try to describe it? Like, oh my God, I'm having butterflies in my stomach. I'm thrilled or something like that. Okay, so could you please describe one emotion without naming it and put it down in the chat? Okay, I'm feeling blue. Yeah, that's right. Okay, sadness. Oh my, yeah, that's right. Okay, that's it. On cloud nine. Great. Yeah, but again, you can describe it in goosebumps. Exactly. But as you can see, for students, sometimes it could be quite complicated because they may not know this idiomatic language. You can get them to describe something. So I'm feeling like I want to punch him in the face or something like that. Anger, yes, and so on. Yuck, I'm fed up. Exactly. And you can even write longer stretches, which have a lot of descriptions about that. I'm sitting next to the window, I'm looking out, and I see that everything is gray and dull. So you see the emotion. Yes, it's up to it. It's not only about idiomatic language, it's also about expressive capacity of you and your students. So again, try this out, try working this out and see how it goes. One more thing, which I would like you to focus on. This is the story. So you will read the beginning of the story. Could you please finish the story in a couple of words, in one word or like with one word or with a couple of words? Okay, please have a look at it. Just finish the story. And you can write the ending of the story. Congratulations, that's all. Okay. Hurry up. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Violet, I see. Yeah, you're answering like, good. You won 1 million. Okay. Everyone is waiting. Oh yeah, this is about me today, but I wasn't sleeping. I was trying to connect. Okay. Wake up. All right. Yeah. A lot of amazing ideas. The only thing is now let's try to finish the story and then spoil the story. You see that this story sounds a little bit too rosy, you know, it's too optimistic. Let's try to spoil that. And this is another thing that your students will do. On an early summer morning, I was walking by. It was a really terrible day. The weather was stormy and the morning was blah, blah, blah. So get them to rewrite the story in darker colors. Get them to finish this story. You can get them to write it, for example, in pairs. One writes the story in his own way and that another person finishes it, just like this. Stay at home. Yeah, this is a good story. Come on. But the second step of it would be to make a bad story. Yeah, so basically you rewrite the beginning of the story and the ending, but it will be a bad ending. So it's up to you. These are some things that you can basically do. Right, the next thing is, again, working with the visuals. Get the students think about visuals in different ways. Who is in the photo? Where was the photo taken? What emotions, what experiences, what events? Think photos are usually static, but there is something which happened before and there is something that might happen after. Get the students to think about it. This is also something that you can do with the photos. And another thing with the photo is changing the perspective, which you could do. Imagine that you are this girl. It doesn't matter who you are, a girl or a boy or whatever. Just imagine that you are this girl. Think about what you can see. It's not you who are looking at this girl, but you are the girl who is eating the ice cream now. What are you thinking about? What are you looking at? Could you please share some ideas here in the chat? Now you are this girl. Yeah, that's right. brothers, okay, playing, and they don't have the ice cream. I'm the only one who has the ice cream, okay. At my mom, okay, great. Oh, my brother dropped his ice cream. Ha ha ha. Okay, no, poor him, poor thing. Okay, today is the happiest day. Yeah, that's right. Okay. Yeah. So as you can see, we can, sorry, we can work with different kinds of perspectives. We can think what happened before the photo was taken, what will happen next. We can become one of the people in the photos. And it develops our imagination in a different way, like in different ways, and it helps us to think about the concepts which we were not thinking about, just like this. What do you think about these ideas? I mean, how to work with the photos? Do you think you are using that, or you could be using more of that? Just write your reactions in the chat, please. Yeah. Okay, so, and basically, the most important thing that I also wanted you to look at is to keep a portfolio of the students' work, which or works, which students are doing in the course of the writing course, which means that they will have an idea what their writing was like at the beginning and what it is like right now. Expose them to a range of different possibilities, different genres, short text, longer text. Never start from writing long texts, because long texts are demotivating. And for some people, even 2 paragraphs are a long text. Get them to write 1 paragraph, get them to think about that, and basically this will be the most important thing. So thanks a lot. Yeah, and now I have some time for QA, I think. Yes, Olga, do I have some time for QA?
There's one question in the question and answer box.
About using tip 3, yeah, with pictures, about odd one out, yes, as a warm-up. Yes. Well, this is basically a really good question, because this is how I use it. I usually use this odd one out as a warm-up. And yes, this is a really important thing to do.